This time around, I'm going to compare the performance of Svelte.38.2 to React 17.0.2 in Chrome browser using a trivial to-do app. Obviously, a to-do app is not the end-all and be-all for comparing performance. However, it's a start. Now, both of these to-do apps have complete CRUD functionality. And they both have the exact same amount of CSS and the exact same amount of static JSON data. There are 12 to-dos here. I want to point your attention to Vite.js for two reasons. First of which is that Vite is available to use with both React and Svelte, and of course with Vue. I mentioned that before. Now the author of Vite is also the author of Vue.js, Evan Yu. Now Evan did use rollup with Vite, as you can see here. So that's the first reason. The second reason is that in my previous Svelte versus Vue video, I inadvertently attributed the creation of rollup and Svelte to Rich Franklin, when in fact it was Rich Harris. Rich Franklin is a former UFC middleweight champion and mixed martial art fighter, whereas Rich Harris is a software engineer. So my apologies to both gentlemen. So Rich Harris developed Svelte and rollup, and Evan Yu is utilizing rollup with Vite. Now, none of these to-do apps are using Vite. Okay, I want to make that clear. I spun up both these to-do apps using the Svelte dget, npx dget with the template, and then for the React app, it was the create React app command line interface. Now for React, there are literally thousands of tutorial videos out there, as well as in written format on React, so I won't belabor the point. Now on the React side, when you spin up a React app with the CRI, it does include the unit testing framework for you. I went ahead and I removed that because rollup does not come with that. So I removed the testing framework on the React side in the name of fairness. Of course, it's been said before that on the Svelte side, Svelte is a compiler. Of course, it's more than a compiler, obviously, right? But the way it does its work is different than Vue and React. And for what it's worth, I hope that in the future, more of these style of front-end framework will come out. But Svelte certainly is a very compelling reason. But I personally have a long history with React. I started using React back in late 14. Now, modern React 17, it does come with a lot out of the box. And all the hooks, all the use reducer and the context API. Most of which you have to import, you have to pull in Redux back in the day to maintain complicated browser state, but it comes with that already now out of the box. So certainly you can kind of forgive its large size, for lack of a better term. So in terms of application organization, let's say, Svelte still does have the concept of a component, and you can still pass data from one component to another via props. And I did this to do as recommended. I used a style that's recommended by Rich Harris himself in his to-do app. So I'm not going too far off the reservation here. But obviously React uses JSX, right? And here's the data, just static data. I am using hooks here, and I'm putting in the static JSON with the use state hooks. And React both React and Svelte has concept of string interpolation. Obviously, again, React uses JSX, whereas Svelte does not. And I mean, look at the. I mean, I've shown you guys this before. It has no Svelte has no dependencies whatsoever. All the dependencies are in the dev dependency. And this serve here, this is just for doing this demonstration in the development environment to serve up the content. That's it. This does not go into production at all. Again, I mean, we can certainly complain about the size of React, but again, straight out of the box, it comes with a lot, and React isn't going going away anywhere soon because there's a lot of it has a pretty big market share. Okay, let's go to the browser next. I just wanted to show my terminals for running both of the applications. So on the Svelte side, I've already built the project, and then I'm serving it from the build folder. And on the React side, same thing. I've already built the project, and I'm using Surf to serve up the built content. Okay, so let's start out with Svelte 3.38.2. By the way, I'm remaking this video because the audio quality in the previous one was awful. I used my AirPod, actually. Now I'm just using a hardwired headphones. So hopefully this comes out a little bit better. Let me do a hard refresh a couple of times here to get the best times. And really, guys, I'm trying to be fair here. Of course, I'm serving it in incognito mode. I'm not partial to any one of these. Okay, I think that Svelte is exciting, but it's up to you. Okay, so there we have it. 6 requests, 20, and look at the size here, the time. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the React app, and let me do a hard refresh here a few times to make it fair as possible. If I haven't mentioned already, we are using incognito tabs. Okay, so there you have that. Now let's go ahead and run Lighthouse. Okay. Okay, I'm using desktop. I'm using pretty much all of the options there. So let's try that. Let's see here. Same thing there. Let's generate that. Okay, let's take a look at this side first. Okay. All right, there's your time. Okay. Now let's look at React. There we have it. Okay. It's 1 millisecond faster. Okay. But you can say that, oh, it's only 1 millisecond faster, right? But that's the difference between, that's 33% improvement. Okay, now think about proportionality here, right? As your data increases. Now we only have 12 to-dos here. And let me explain why I have this tab open. So this is the formula that I've used from math stack exchange to how to compute the percentage of improvement. Now you can use whatever methodology you want, but the methodology that I use was from this particular site here, and it's only 1 millisecond improvement, but that's 33%. Would you not want a 33% improvement? Well, that question is entirely up to you, right? It really is up to our management, right? For certainly for personal projects, you can go with something like Svelte, but if you work for a big corporation like I do, where we're so invested in Angular and to a certain extent in React, I don't think management will allow us to spend millions of dollars to convert our pre-existing React app to Svelte. But certainly it's in the radar, right? And I've said this before where I work now. I'm on the Angular team. We do have some React work, but there's another team at my company that uses Svelte for small intern application, and engineers really love it. They maybe it's because it's so new, but yeah, they enjoy their work, and heaven forbid we should enjoy our work, right? Hey, I want to thank all of my subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Thank you. Gracias por ver.